The hobby took over to a passion. Eventually, I decided to go professional.
Kind of the sky's the limit, that's what I see.
We're not trying to be bigger or better than anybody, we just want to do what we do.
My name is Ron Gamble. I'm the president and brewmaster of Veterans United Craft Brewery. The brewery was started in 2013. We opened up for production in 2014. The name is Veterans United Craft Brewery, so I'm a U.S. Navy veteran. Used to fly jets off of aircraft carriers. Every generation of my family has served since the Spanish-American War. So what I did was I took a hobby, turned that into a profession, went to Master Brewers School back in 2007 and worked for about 4 different breweries up in New England area before moving back to Florida here, and started the brewery with several other veterans who I either served with or knew from previous jobs.
My name is Susan Miller, and my son and I started the brewery in 2008, so I run the business side and he runs the brewery part of it. We were the first brewery in Jacksonville since Jack's Beer way back. We were the first craft brewery to open in Jacksonville. Back then we were very limited budget, about $250,000, which is not a lot. Especially breweries opening today are spending, $1 million or more opening up. But we had used equipment, and like I said, we went through the legal process all by ourselves and the installation process of the equipment. We figured it out.
My name is Sean Bielman. I'm one of the owners, co-owners, and brewers here at Engine 15 Brewing Company. Engine 15 as a concept kind of came around probably about 2008, and it was really me and my business partner getting together, being home brewers together, wanting to do something more with it. I was in the civil engineering drafting trade through the big crash and had been laid off a couple times and was looking for something different. And he was and still is an airline pilot, so he was also looking for another way of making sure that he could feed his family. So when we got together and started home brewing, a couple years later we decided to, go professional with it and came up with a bar and restaurant / brewery concept. And it was one of those things that there was really nothing like that in Jacksonville Beach. So we decided to kind of take our chances, and in June of 2010, we opened our doors in Jacksonville Beach, Florida.
Craft beer scene is very interesting. I think it's really just starting to get going. Having brewed up in New England, where Sam Adams Boston Beer Company started in the late 70s, there were breweries that had been there for 20, 25, 30 years, and come down to Jacksonville here. And most of the breweries here in town were only started around 2009, except for some of the smaller brew pubs. So I think overall Florida, it's a great time to be in business. It's a great time to be in craft beer here in the state.
Breweries are definitely like the it kid right now. Everyone wants to do a collab. We do 4 charity beers a year, most recently with Rethreaded, who's an amazing company taking women out of the sex trade. We've worked with the Emerald Necklace, which is the Jacksonville Land Trust. There's always events like One Spark, Hemming Park, beer festivals.
From the time Bolt City started to the year and a half when Intuition and Engine 15 kind of simultaneously kind of popped up, everybody was really small. When we started, we were on a 1-barrel system. So we were the smallest out of all of them. And since then, everybody that's popped up, the smallest brewery that's popped up has been a 7-barrel brewery. And that was the biggest guy almost when we first started. That was 7 barrels was Bolt City. And so it took a year and a half for anybody to get a bigger brew system than that. And at this point, there have been there's 8 breweries now, all ranging from 7-barrel brew houses up to 20 in Jacksonville.
Who knew? Who knew back in 2008 that they were that many people that were really starving for a local beer? So I think there's just, it's just grown from there. And like I said, everybody has great beer. And the people of Jacksonville are so proud now that they can bring their family in from other places out west and up north and all that, and actually bring them to the local breweries. Now we have Jack Sail Trail. I mean, it's really great.
it's all about veterans and the military here at Veterans United. So we do work with a lot of veteran organizations. We work with military groups on base, and as you can see from our tap room, it's definitely a focus on service to our country and thanking those who have served.
We are really a family operation. I have 4 children, and 3 of them and their spouses and girlfriends and significant others work in the business as well. So about 70% of us, of the employees here, are related in one way or the other. The other folks that we have here, we've known forever. They're from our past. Willie, we've known him for like 16 years. So he's been a part of our family for a long time. But I think that's part of it that makes us unique. And we're not trying to be bigger or better than anybody. We just want to do what we do.
One of the reasons why Engine 15 even came about was my business partner and I frequented a local sandwich shop that had the most beer on draft in Jacksonville Beach for several years. And so that's where we went to go get beer, because that's the place that had the best selection. They had 20 draft lines and a couple hundred bottles. And so that was what we were into, so that's where we went. And that was kind of where we started to hatch our idea of trying to do something different.
For me, it's always going to be, local over everything.
There is a symbiotic relationship where as more breweries start to come into the market, more people see the value in craft, and therefore more places, more restaurateurs are insisting on having more draft lines. As before, 20 was like unheard of. That was a massive amount.
You'll find that Jacksonville is separated into its different regions. You got the beach, you got Riverside here in the South Side, Orange Bar. So we find that a lot of our customers and loyal members come from the surrounding area. They really like to be part of a local brewery.
We've got a great environment for breweries and other breweries to come in.
Local doesn't mean anything without a local population.